What's up, guys? T with you here on this Saturday evening. I was a little bored and I had the house to myself, so, well, for the most part, my brother's not around, so the basement to myself. And I just got an idea. Actually, buddy of mine, fellow YouTuber slash Facebook friend, Retro Slasher, Andy Cripps, made a suggestion to me that I should do a kind of like a collection overview video. And it's something I've been wanting to do for a while now, but haven't gotten around to it. My room is really cluttered, so I didn't really know how I would film it. So I got to thinking what I might do is just shoot a video with, well, basically like a series of videos going over like all of my movies. And I guess the best way to start would be by going from distribution company to distribution company. So tonight I'm going to start with Code Red and go over all my Code Red Blu-rays and DVDs, and then I'll go on to, I can do Synapse, I can do Scream Factory, I can do Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, Blue Underground, as many as I can until we get to just like individual stuff that I don't have a bunch of, or distribution companies that I don't have a ton of releases of. But I got a good amount of stuff, so I've got the product to provide the content, and so that's what I'm going to do here. So tonight, I'm going to kind of shoot a different style. I'm sorry if the phone gets a little shaky. I am holding it, and I'm not used to doing it this way. So we're going to start off, I guess, with Soul Survivor for time's sake, because I do have quite a few Code Red releases. I'm not going to get into detail. A lot of these movies I still haven't seen, so I'm just going to kind of scroll down the list and just show you guys the titles that I have for Code Red. So, and I just ordered The Dead Are Alive yesterday, and it actually shipped out today. So that's going to be coming. And yeah, so aside from that, let's get down to business. So first up, we have Soul Survivor, kind of like a Final Destination. Well, Final Destination, see, it says before Final Destination there was Soul Survivor. So a lot of people say Final Destination, the idea from that film was taken from this here Soul Survivor film. So let's see. So next up we have God's Bloody Acre, and it also includes Tomcats. And then we have The Redeemer, Son of Satan. I actually really enjoy this movie. I think it's a really fun slasher. And next up we have The Strangeness. And a lot of these you'll see I do have on Blu-ray now, because Bill is releasing a lot of his titles on Blu-ray. So this is the single edition of Beyond the Door. And the double edition, I actually got this before I even knew Code Red's existence. I bought this back in like 2006, I want to say, at a Best Buy in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I guess Bill had some of his titles. I think actually Beyond the Door, and I think there was a two-disc edition of Beyond the Door, as well as this Dead Pit double edition. Director's cut was sold at Best Buy for a period of time. So that's where I picked that one up at. A lot of these I got off Bill's site too. This is Curse of the Blue Lights. Good film as well. I really enjoyed this one. And a lot of these are currently available now. You can pick them up on Bill's site. They're pricey, but you can get them. Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Paid a good amount of money for that, unfortunately, because I do have the Vinegar Syndrome release. The Forest, paid a good amount of money for this one too. I bought this off of Uncle Bill. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dead Pit Radio, but I was a supporter of them one time, a long time ago, and I met them at a convention back in 2011 in Kentucky, Fright Night Film Fest, and I paid $30 for this, which is a lot, but it was sealed and I wanted it at the time, so I'm happy I have it. But probably paid a little bit too much. Next up, we have Ghost Keeper. I love this film. Awesome Canadian I don't even really know how to describe what this film is, but it's really good. Highly recommend Ghost Keeper. Next up, we have Horror High, another fun one, kind of like Slaughter High style. Really like it. 70s slasher. Next up, we have the terrible Mardi Gras Massacre. And next up, we have Madman. I got this release, I remember patiently waiting for it to come out. And yes, the red tint in this is terrible, so big ups to Vinegar Syndrome for putting out a good release. And next up we have a double bill of Murder Run and Unhinged. I've actually never seen Murder Run before, but Unhinged was pretty fun. Sorry, it's just bothering me that you guys can see some of the other movies in the background, so push that back a little bit. So yeah, that's Murder Run and Unhinged. I like Unhinged, though. A lot of people tend to not like that movie, but I really like it. I think the end is cool. The last scene is creepy as hell. Nightmare Uncut. It's got a good interview with Cleve Hall on there. Special effects artist. He sets the record straight, too, on the whole Tom Savini thing. Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I've heard this is great. I haven't checked it out yet, but I need to. And The Witchmaker. Night of the Demon. Fun little, what do you call it? Bigfoot film. Sasquatch. This is a hilarious slasher film, Night of the Dribbler. The killer is literally like has a basketball head. It's pretty ridiculous, but it's fun. Just gonna push these kind of aside now and start anew. Getting a little high up. Next up, Slithis. Heard good things about this film. I actually haven't seen it, but gotta check that one out as well. Retribution. Love this film. Really good possession film, kind of in the vein of, you know, The Exorcist and those films along those lines. Not sure if this was filmed in the 70s or what. Let's see. Of course, it doesn't say, or I can't see it, but oh, 86. So actually, the year I was born, it was made. Cool. Heard this movie's terrible. I haven't seen it before. Haunted. One I recently picked up off the website Dr. Death. And Bill, actually, this title here, Point of Terror, I had placed an order a few months back, probably like almost a year now, for like 20 or 25 titles off of Code Red, and he forgot this one, and I remember everybody telling me that I'm screwed and I'm never going to get this. Bill's just going to screw me on this one. I'll never see it again. And he did send it pretty quickly after I wrote him an email. I was like, I'm not going to let that happen no matter what. I can't. And I didn't have to put up a fight or anything. He sent it right to me, so apologized. So to his credit, that was cool. Trick or Treats. Bought that one off of the other Dead Pit host. What's his name? Uncle Bill. Creepy Kentuckian. Paid a little bit too much for this, especially because it came out on Blu-ray like a week later, so just my luck. Bought this off of Bill's site, Trapped. Heard good things. Haven't seen it yet. And this is actually a Scorpion release, so I'm going to skip that one. Got a couple Scorpions mixed in here, the Katarina line. I think Ed and his dead mother is a Scorpion. So next up I have The Love Butcher. I actually have 2 copies of this. I'm trying to sell one, so if anybody's interested in a copy of The Love Butcher for a reasonable price, hit me up, because I also have the Blu-ray, so I'm trying to get rid of one. And another one I bought off of Bill's site, The Carrier, and the rare Undertaker. I was pissed because I tried to get this and it disappeared. Everything on Code Red comes and goes real quickly. It was there for a couple hours and then it was sold out, and I thought I would never get it, but he did end up putting some more up. uh, later, and so I grabbed one, luckily. The Undertaker, even though it's a horrible movie. I love Spinell. Rituals, great movie. I also have a hard box of this. I believe it's German edition. I'm not 100% sure, but it's another good one. Or one that I enjoyed, Doom Asylum. Fun little slasher. It takes place in like an abandoned asylum. And we have Stanley. I haven't seen this. About the guy with his killer snake. And I've heard this movie's pretty awful as well. Weekend Murders. Haven't seen that one yet. Another one I haven't seen, Devil's Express. That was on the site there for a while, so finally bid on it. I do collect, clearly I collect Code Red, so I wanted to add it to the collection. The only thing I don't collect is some of the exploitation titles, like the Pom Pom Girls and that kind of shit. I'm not gonna buy, so I don't need to have every Code Red title, but those ones I kind of avoid. So Curious Case of the Campus Corpse is awesome. I really like that movie, so really happy I got that. I haven't seen Love Me Deadly, so couldn't comment on that one. Next up we have Demon Witch Child. And The House of Insane Women and The Night of a Thousand Cats double bill. And another double bill, The Being and Cop Killers. I've heard The Being's a lot of fun. I haven't seen it yet, but this title right here I'm trying to sell, so if you're interested, this Sweet 16, it has never been opened, still sealed. So, and next up I have another double bill, Exploitation Cinema, Encounter with the Unknown and Where Time Began. Encounter with the Unknown was a lot of fun. And so that's pretty much it, I think, for my Code Red DVD. So now we'll get into the Blu-rays. So first up we have the recently out of print because somebody complained about like a couple seconds. I'm sure Bill over-exaggerated and was just being the fussy grump that he can be, but this is the Vampire Night Orgy, which is unfortunately out of print. He pulled it because some people were taking issue with a few seconds of footage that was botched up, so it's unfortunate for those who didn't get it, but because it's really not a big deal. I mean, it sucks, and most companies would make it right, but Bill doesn't roll like that. So you gotta, and not only does he not roll like that, but he punishes the customers by yanking it off the shelves. So it's pretty ass backwards way to run a business, if you ask me. But I've learned to live with it and accept it. It is what it is. So Terror Circus. I heard this is a pretty awful film. It does have an alternate title. I forget what it is, but The Love Butcher on Blu-ray. I'm actually going to slip these back so I can save some time afterwards. People Who Own the Dark. Voices from Beyond. And get into the Roger Corman post-nuke collection. I have Wheels of Fire. The Sisterhood. Equalizer 2000. Dune Warriors. There were a couple more of these that were released I didn't end up picking up, but Silk I think was one of them, and there was one other Destroyer or something like that. I forget, but The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here. I've heard this is a fun one. I haven't seen it yet, but it's cool. Brotherhood of Death. Blaxploitation film. Brute Corpse. Deadly Hero. Copsploitation films. Zombie Nightmare, which was owned by his brother Walt and Scorpion Releasing, but I guess he gave the rights to Bill, so now it's a Code Red release. Haven't checked out the transfer on that one. I've been meaning to, but I haven't gotten around to it. Cutthroats 9. And now I have the the recent ones that are in the bundle pack you can get on Screen Archives Entertainment. Eye in the Labyrinth. A Knife for the Ladies. And White Ghost. And kind of getting down to the wire here now. I've got a few more. Let's see. Alright. So we'll start with The Strangeness. Sorry. I like that movie a lot. I've been meaning to check the Blu-ray out on it, but I haven't yet. Tortured Dungeon. It's a film by that, what's his name? Exploitation director. Andy Milligan, who's known for his shitty movies. I haven't seen this one, but I've heard awful things. Bloodthirsty Butchers, another one by Milligan. Night Child, which was also released by Arrow. I have that DVD. The Obsessed one. I think it's a blaxploitation. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Devil's Wedding Night. Linda Blair and Savage Streets. The rumors are true. Linda Blair is definitely not a friendly person. I met her back in 2011, quick story, and I had her sign my Exorcist Blu-ray. I think it was when they had just released the 30th anniversary edition on Blue. It was like a digibook type thing, and she refused to sign where I asked her to sign because she claimed there wasn't enough space, and yet there was a big space, but she wanted to keep it generic and sign in the same exact place that she signed it for everyone else. I don't know why, because she's OCD or something, I don't know. But it was pretty ridiculous, so yeah, not the best experience with her, but you know, can't win them all. I'm sure she has been putting up with fans for years, and she's all about the money now, so it is what it is. It's all good. So next up is Lady Stay Dead. These over. Start new. Messiah of Evil. This is actually a pretty good film. The one guy who's on the back, featured on the back there, is pretty creepy. The albino-looking guy, right there. Can't really get a good pic of him, but he's creepy, man. He's good in this film. And we have classic Neon Maniacs, great release. It's from the first pressing. I apologize for the shakiness too, guys. It's probably the second video I've ever shot like this, and it's not easy holding a camera with one hand. It's actually difficult. I don't like shooting like this. The Man with Two Heads. Another cheesy as hell Milligan film. Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary. I watched about half this. This movie's pretty bad. I didn't mind the atmosphere in it, but not a very good film. And Nail Gun Massacre. Good film. Fun. Cheesy, but fun. And Just Before Dawn. Great film. Love it. One of my favorite wilderness slashers for sure. And most of these are first pressings too. I buy them all like right when they come out, so if I can. Not that it makes any difference, but The Eerie Midnight Horror Show, haven't seen this one yet. I heard it's kind of like a exorcism on acid type movie. Nightmare Uncut, I haven't opened this yet, but And unfortunately, guys, I really hate to say this, but the Redeemer Blu-ray is really, really bad. You're honestly, if you have the DVD, it is not worth the upgrade. I repeat, it is not worth the upgrade. It's actually worse, this transfer. It doesn't even have a menu screen. The movie just comes on, and there are like glitches and scratches all throughout the film, like green scratches, and it's just the DVD. I don't know. This was just a mess, an utter mess. So avoid it at all costs. Save your $30. You don't need this. Just giving you a heads up. Legacy of Satan and Blood double feature. Haven't checked this out yet. I also need to get the Sicilian collection. I don't have that one either. Pit Stop, I picked this up. I also picked the Arrow one up because I wanted to support both companies, but I haven't watched either one, so really it's like, why? Shakma, haven't opened this one yet, but I've heard pretty good things. I don't know why there's like a line right there in the... right where my finger is, right there. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. And coming down to the end here, I've got 4 more. Bloodthirsty Butchers. Do I have 2 copies of that? I didn't even realize that I had 2 of these. That's crazy. So I have an extra copy of this film for sale if anybody wants. I didn't even know I had 2 copies of that. And Retribution on Blue, I had to buy it. I haven't opened it yet, but I love that movie. So. And coming up down to the end here, guys, Spontaneous Combustion starring Brad Dourif. Haven't seen this, but I've heard it's good. Trick or Treats on Blu-ray. And last but not least, Sweet 16. Well, a mediocre slasher to end it. So that's my collection of Code Red, guys. I figure the next video I shoot will probably be Scorpion, just because they Code Red, Scorpion, same thing. I don't have that many Scorpion titles, so it won't be nearly as long of a video. Maybe I'll do Scorpion and Synapse in one or something. And then I can do Scream Factory, Arrow. I've got quite a few companies. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. That's my collection of Code Red. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Oh, and also, thank you for Andy Cripps, a.k.a. Retro Slasher, for your shout-out, man. Right after you did that video, I got like 4 or 5 new people subbing my channel, which is awesome. So I don't know if there's any relation there, but thank you. In any case, I appreciate the support, man. Alright, everybody, have a good night. Thanks to everybody else who recently subscribed, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.